Yeah. So I just want to register my presence because yeah. Now I've got okay. I'll text him just now. I'll text him. So somebody was calling me. Anyway, so I was just trying to say that these past few days I've not been talking, and I know in politics there is no vacuum. When you go quiet, somebody will pick up a story. Oh, Dad is not talking because of what? Because what? Why I'm not talking these past few days? Why I've not been going live these past few days is simply because I've been overwhelmed with emotions in relating to the issue of Chingola. Issue ya Chingola yali njikatako obuvi, yali njikatako obuvi. First of all, I was very I couldn't just believe that a president would be stoned in the manner that they did. I couldn't just believe. And I thought of all sorts of things that could have gone wrong there. I thank God that Hakainde Hichilema was safe. But of course, being me and the way I am, I've been thinking about that. I mean, where was the intelligence? What about this? What about this? So many things that could have been done to avoid that situation. And in me trying to find out what really was going on, I ended up talking to so many people. And from what I've discovered, I've even become more sad. I've even become more sad out of what I have gotten from so many people. One thing that with me is that you can say whatever you want, but I speak for the people. I am a public lawyer. So inabantu abakuchingola nimbomfwa. What happened was very bad, Kuliba President. What happened was very, very bad. Unfortunately, but I must also say that abantu bakuchingola nimbomfwa nefyo balelira nimfyumfwa ine ningumfwa ukulira kwa vena chingola, and I understand their problem. I'm not justifying their action, but I am standing with the people of Chingola. Let me put it this way. I am standing with the people of Chingola in their plea. I'm standing with the people of Chingola, and maybe let me say generally Copper Belt, because a number of people have complained about the leadership. This is a fact. We cannot run away from it. This is a fact. The issue of leadership in Chingola is a fact. Whether President Hakainde Hichilema will do something or not do something, but it is a fact that there is a leadership problem. The people that I've spoken to, some of them are not people who are niba kada yo bale fokuliamo chavana shani. I've spoken to genuine people. I've spoken to business people. The suppliers muma mining mudia na abairishanya. Ama suppliers ba muma mining na abairishanya sana. Hao na abairishanya. Anyway, teri ashinjishire mukulanda pano. But ndifo fekumya okobati. Why I've been quiet? I've too much days to apitapo because I have not been happy with what is happening in Chingola. I have not been happy. And ukulanda fe chinkafe. If President Hakainde Hichilema had the opposition, had a serious opposition, the situation in Chingola would have had serious ramifications. Serious ramifications if at all there was serious opposition. Ngatafyawe mefindu, but pali inoishta kutina miafe chishinko kwa wati Hakainde Hichilema takwete opposition and indela ndefite kwa wati niwu praise singer tewu praise singer ni miebo kwa wati file chisika kuchingola nishifitemenwe. And I'm even putting it here on record. Nshire tina ukoba tiyo Hakainde Hichilema balafulwa ndefo Hakainde Hichilema beshibe. And indeed, if Hakainde Hichilema want the good of the UPND and the good of the people of Chingola, Hakainde Hichilema should do something in Chingola, in the Copper Belt. He should do something on the leadership of Chingola. Ine na papata. Mune ngunchitafi understandi. Ine support fe na hafe no mungulu fye. Awe shancha nefi shiudolele mu awe tefonava nakana. Tefonava. Ine mfo ngande kusupporta ndela ndati ifina ulungika. No mtima wandulishani ule konka muko watao chachine. No chachi ndela ndefintu paka no bachumutima ulifimbi. Tefonava. Chawama na ikala tondolo. Ifintu nga tafiweme. Ero fimwe fintu nshilefo kwa watindande. Chawama na ikala tondolo. So, ukuku monoko mwamonati, ututu shikutu apitapo, ututuma shikutu apitapo, have been quiet. Why? Because what is happening in the Copper Belt, I don't agree with it. And in all honesty, Hakainde Hichilema has a part in this. In all honesty, Hakainde Hichilema has a part in this because he's the president. He's the president. He's the president. So the Tupite Mumbari, Hakainde Hichilema is the president. And as a president, he must show leadership. In that situation in the Copper Belt needs to be resolved. It needs to be resolved. Ero inenda kanefinto kati yo, abantu abali mupepi, ama advisors wakwe. Awe. As a president, you have got capacity to get information, to get information right from the ground. You have got that capacity. So the thing that yo, abali mupepi. But no, mamona ngefine ndela ndangana tonga na pitisho kulanda pakutina tasani na alufianya. Efo na teralide tondolo. But indefo kumia chakwe wadi. Nangunga palifide kalipa. Nangumule kwa temitimati nashi kalipa chavana shani. You are not happy about certain things. What I'm telling you is that be careful on how you resolve yourself or how you resolve these issues. Don't pick a route here kwati palasti ya miletelela. It is very sad that some people have been arrested. Even those that are arrested, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with those arrests. Again, nganarande thing kuchina rufianya. Efo na ikalile tondolo. But ichikalamba chakwati. Whether you agree with Hakainde Hichilema or whether I agree with Hakainde Hichilema or not, whether I agree with Hakainde Hichilema or not, whether I support Hakainde Hichilema or not, or whether you support Hakainde Hichilema or not, or whether you like Hakainde Hichilema or not, Hakainde Hichilema is coming back in 2026. Ili area shi didipo Hakainde Hichilema is coming back in 2026. He is coming back in Tapari winga bita Hakainde Hichilema Tapari. Uwafe wama politics. The problem with politics is that it is very subjective. It is very, very subjective. Once from our point of view. From our point of view. Ngo amona Hakainde Hichilema taomu temenwe. Ule mona kwa tina bonsi taomu temenwe. Ngo amona kwa tika Hakainde Hichilema, has not fulfilled the promises according to you. You think that everybody feels the same. You Hakainde Hichilema has lost support. You think that everybody is thinking the same. Awe. Therefore, chava. Ama politics see. At least through a shop ya mwenako from an objective point of view. But I know some of you don't have experiences. Some of you think that just because you have got emotions and just because you have got opinions, you think that you are experts in politics. No. If what to alifimona ifin to alifimona and in a panon dem yeva Hakainde Hichilema tako ete opposition ya kwa taka lwena yo 2026. So no matter how we feel chitika, muleva careful in the way that you are handling these issues. How muleva careful. Mwila iwe pati yo Hakainde Hichilema alemona na ngufulwe uliweka by the fact that now ufulwa nangu munga ndamniye no mwikalile wonse na mfulwa, it doesn't mean that Hakainde Hichilema will lose my elections. takalusae ama elections. Problem wakwata, you go out there, you talk to a few people, 3, 4, 5 people, and you come on social media, you go on radio, you go on TV, and start saying, hey, hakainde ichilema, abantu badelandat. You have spoken to 5 people. To 5 people. 5, 10 people. Even if you speak to 100 people in Danieva, even if you speak to 100 people, that is not a guarantee to say, if you're real and if you're chin, if you're real and you are kind of chilema there, awe. If anything, for me, I speak to more people that are opposed to Waka in the Ichilema. More people that are opposed to Waka in the Ichilema. Many people that I speak to, if I take because other in Gaba Fula in Abanandi, they are Baku Nanken, Baku PF, or Baku opposition. Most of my friends, Baku opposition. We were UPND, Vanono Abanandi. Vanono. Even on this platform. Even on this platform, many people that are here on this platform, they are on the opposition. So if you look at the comments, you hear so many negative comments. Michael Bwalia, Nyoani, Bareluka, Tindela and Defia Bupua. Bengi, there you an empty tin abo. You can read so many comments on this page, on this platform. And from this platform, if you are not experienced politically, you would actually go and say, Hakainde Ichilema is losing. Ama politics stay for yawa. Opo incumbent alelu shirama elections, no kuchita over power. Para moneka leke ni miebe. Para moneka. Bantu anikane ba Edgar Lungu. Inanali mwene kati ba Edgar Lungu balelu sama elections mu 2021, early 2021. And when I spoke about if imule chita mwalalu sama elections na leveva vengi sana avengamieba na leveva imwe mulelu sama elections. At the end of the day, they got upset with me, and they fabricated a story. Somebody fabricated a story to say Hakainde Ichilema has given Dad 2 million, and that's why he's talking like this. They arrested me I think that was in March. Yes, in March. They arrested me in March. When I came out a wounded buffalo, and I started campaigning for Hakainde Ichilema because I wanted to show a PF to Kwebati Finale miwa fishinka. But nonetheless, I cannot say that I made Hakainde Ichilema win the election. The point is that Hakainde Ichilema was already popular. UPND was inevitably coming to win the elections. And that is why I was warning by PF. They didn't want to listen. And they lost the elections. In other words, what I'm trying to say, Pali Moneka, Fiali Moneka, whatever, they will not win the elections. Fiali Moneka, Fiali Ilanga. Nomba papali ba UPND. Ukutarifie. Abamule muna banani. Ati banani abo. Some of you ati nani akaka malukula. Ima pali malukula palapene mule mona po ati pali no muntu akwa ati chawina ma elections. Malukula. Malukula takwe tene mbafu. He doesn't even have a spine. He doesn't even have a backbone. Malukula doesn't have a backbone. Malukula doesn't stand on anything. He doesn't stand on anything. Malukula is the weakest. Is the weakest among all those political candidates. Na Greyford Monde awapo win. I can tell you. Na Greyford Monde awapo win. Greyford Monde, I mean, he's just a young guy. He doesn't have much, whatever. But Greyford awapo win. Not Malukula. Malukula. Hey, Mwaiche achani uyu Mwaiche uyu Beverly. Beverly Mwaiche ati chair, the voice of Zambia. How much? Tapali, Malukula, Tapali Okwalea Malukula. Okay, but why are you talking about him if he's nothing? I'm not talking for Malukula. I'm not talking for Malukula. I'm talking for you. I want you to understand. I want you to have a forecast. I want you to have a forecast, because if you follow mutu abakwati niba weather achani weather meteorologist, meteorologist, those who give you weather forecast. So if for 12, if number two, we are like political forecaster. We are like political forecaster. We give you the forecast of how things are going. Tapalia makumbi of changing the political weather. There are no clouds. If you are seeing clouds here, it is because you are not politically exposed. You are not politically mature. That's why you can look at Malukula. Look at that guy. Even with all that drama that he has been performing in South Africa, with all that drama, South Africa, putting our country in disrepute, embarrassing our president, embarrassing our president, all that show that this guy has done, with a motive of him becoming president. Because I told you that this guy, this story has been there. I told you that Makebi Zulu.
But I'm done to my hair.
You've done?
Yeah.
Great. Let me see. You look nice. Wonderful. Wonderful. You look very beautiful, baby.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
I did my hair.
Yes, you have done your hair.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to church.
Tomorrow we're going to church?
Yes, and then after church we go out. Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll find you. Don't you want to eat something now?
Yeah. I'll ask Mommy.
You ask Mommy?
Yeah.
Okay, baby. So, we will try and can you. I mean, with all that drama that Malukula has caused, you really think that a red carpet would be spread for Makebi Zulu to contest an election and become president? Sometimes in the Dawa sana ndami Dawa. Kabina Makebi Zulu now is a dunderhead. That guy is a dunderhead. He's one of the most, and I'm saying this stupid not to insult him, but stupid as a person who lacks political intelligence in this instance. He lacks political intelligence. This guy really thinks that, people are so dumb. People are so dumb that he would cause all that drama, embarrass, our country, embarrass our government. Here, close it. Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Embarrass our government, embarrass our eminent persons, embarrass even people like Bakiri Muluzi. Bakiri Muluzi had to withdraw. Believe you me, I don't know how, if you can imagine Bakiri Muluzi, how Bakiri Muluzi is feeling. Because there were people that gathered around the Lungu family. When that just happened, there were people that gathered around the Lungu family. And they looked at Makebi Zulu as, the lawyer of the family. And later on, of course, as a spokesperson of the family. That's how they looked at Makebi Zulu. And now, now they have come to realize to say, after all, this guy was just trying to make political capital out of all this. He was just trying to make a political capital out of all this. You know. But I'll tell you, I said this even in Kuma Festi. I told you that ilili ashiria kwa Makebi Zulu. Diata mpide, even before Balungu Tabalafwa. My drift with Balungu partly was because of Makebi Zulu. My drift partly was because of Makebi Zulu. Because in Valinjevele, people told me 3 times before Balungu Tabalafwa. One person came and told me, let's support Makebi Zulu. I refused. I said, I can't support Makebi Zulu. I will support Brian Mundubile. If Balungu Tabale Minina, the next person that I would support is Makebi Zulu. Or is Brian Mundubile. That was my position. I said the only person I have been supporting Brian Mundubile, but the only person that I dropped Mundubile for is Edgar Lungu. If Edgar Lungu is not standing, I'm not going to support anybody else other than Brian Mundubile. This was way before Balungu Tabalafwa. So this person told me, and I refused. I told them, Makebi Zulu is immature. I argued with this friend of mine. We spoke for about 30 minutes over Makebi Zulu. I said no. Another person came. I'm just avoiding mentioning their names. But as I'm talking, then another person came, tried to convince me, and this person is actually close to me. He's also another guy that is close to me and is perceived to say, they were very close na tired. So they went to this guy. And I told him, no ways. No, Makebi Zulu. I said, no ways. I refuse. The third person that I had a conversation with is a woman who today is standing next to Makebi Zulu. A very prominent woman. You know this woman. She talks too much. She also came and told me, Shani. You know, she wanted, and this woman came that I support Makebi Zulu and I support her as vice president. I refused. So when that nonsense happened, and I saw Makebi Zulu coming up, I clearly knew that this was a plan. And this is why somehow, to some extent, because somehow feel monika kwatika tushama plan bachai because Makebi Zulu kale watampile. They started talking about Makebi Zulu before Balungu Tabalafu. Before Balungu Tabalafu. And I used to tell another man. There is one man that I used to talk to. One of these guys that was connected to Balungu, but he was funding me. And I told him, he also doubted it. Makebi Zulu, no. I'm doubt tawanje bapu efyo, ile tawanje bapu mini Balungu. I said, no. Uliaba muntu wala mufuaya. The issue is Balungu that we know for very difficult. Balungu, you know, you would go to Balungu, he would tell you this and that and that. You know, he would give you an impression that nobody for. Balubinda would go there, and you give him an impression that he wants Balubinda. Okay? I don't know Balubinda anyway. But another person will go there, he will also give him the same thing. You know? I mean, Lungu was very good at telling people what they want to hear. Telling people what they want to hear. So, Lungu kutamira nanikane motoka once fia mira 20 people. You know like those scammers that would sell one car to so many people. Efo Balungu badi. You know. Remy wale dad nimbwa. It's okay. That's how Balungu was. But the person that they came up and settled on was a Makebi Zulu. That is why I'm finding it I'm finding it, what can I say? I don't know, but I'm finding it naive for Brian Mundubire to continue talking about ndi mwana wako alungu, ndi mwana wako alungu. No. I think Brian Mundubire should be courageous to face the fact that Edgar Lungu ali munyunyile. He should just face the fact. Okulanda veching. Brian Mundubire should face the fact, because Brian Mundubire, as much as he is standing there, ndi mwana wako alungu, he knows deep down that Lungu did not want him. This is the fact. This is the truth. This is the truth. But I don't know why Mundubire keep hey, ndi mwana wako alungu. You know, make a name, be a man, stand on your own. Stand on your own, Mundubire. Stand on your own. You were loyal to Edgar Lungu, but Lungu rejected you. That's a fact. You were loyal. I can vouch for you. You are very loyal to Edgar Lungu, but Lungu, Naba Esther, rejected you. They rejected you in preference for this Makebi. So, our ones are very much no Shan, yeah, Lungu. I don't understand you. I don't understand your cowardice. Your cowardice where you fail to stand on your own. Why do you fail to stand on your own? Why do you want to stand on Ichitumbi? Why do you want to stand on Ichitumbi? Lungu alikwete support yakwe. Yes, alikwete support yakwe. Lungu got 1.7 million. That's a fact. But I can tell you that 1.7 is not there for anyone to cash. No. That 1.7. Because a lot of you are looking at it, you know, you want to cash in part of your 1.7. You think that you can turn that 1.7 to you. No. Ila 1.7 yadife ya kwa Lungu. Support ya kwa Lungu yadife ya kwefie. Any other person cannot inherit the support of Edgar Lungu, especially Muchitumbi Tete. Unless Edgar Lungu had, you know, given you the support publicly. If Edgar Lungu came and anointed somebody, it would have worked. But Edgar Lungu was selfish. He couldn't give the 1.7 to anyone. He held that 1.7. He held it. He kept it for himself. So the rest of you, no matter how much you try to grab that 1.8, no matter how much you try to grab that 1.8, tamwaka imone, just campaign on your own basis. That's all. Mundubire, you have got a very good things to sell. Very good qualities, very good character, very good rich experience that you can sell to Zambians. I get very disappointed. When I'm watching him, I'm like, this man. Mundubire should just shut up, not even mentioning Lungu. And leave that to Makebi Zulu. Leave that to Makebi Zulu. The only one who should be capitalizing on Ichitumbi Chakwa Lungu, it's this one, Makebi. And I say so because even Lungu before Talafwa, they were campaigning for Makebi. The people that you are surrounding Makebi, those are people that somehow Lungu told that Valefo are Makebi. Those women that you are seeing around, those that you were seeing in Esther, those are women that Edgar Lungu told that they want Makebi. So those are the only ones. But the rest, they don't know about this. They don't know about this. But then, does it mean that because Lungu wanted Makebi, Lungu wanted Makebi, but now, does it mean that that was wise? It was not wise. It was not wise for Lungu to choose Makebi. From my point of view, I even said it, and some of you, you know I used to say this even before Lungu Tabarafa. First of all, I looked at it as very selfish of Lungu. Very selfish. Number one. Number two, I looked at it as very tribal. I looked at it as very, very tribal. It was selfish. I looked at it as very tribal. And indeed it was tribal. It was tribal. And you know, when people are being tribal, they are not even reasonable. They are not even reasonable. They can't see. How do you expect Makebi Zulu to be accepted by Zambians after Walungu? How? Eh? But that is a man they troubled. And look at the combination. They wanted Makebi president. They wanted Tasila as vice president. Honestly, how can you imagine, think of such a thing? It's an abomination to think of going out there and selling Makebi Zulu as president, Tasila Lungu as vice president. Imagine. But this is what was cooking. And I refused. When I refused, like I told you, because Balungu, Balungu, partly, eva lingero kwa timfumena mchalo. Mulala that no, uwa lingo kwa timfumena mchalo ni haka inde ichilema, no. Uwa lingo kwa timfumena mchalo, te haka inde ichilema, no. It's not haka inde ichilema. Ni Balungu. In the sense that, I mean, this is a man that I was supporting so much. And of course, because I was supporting him, I generated, acrimony, which brought all these litigations. And that's how I left the country. But, naisa mona, naisa itamba, awantu awa. Makebi Zulu, president. Tasira, vice president. I said, no, take Fiwombe. So, what did I do? I stopped talking. Ngafiati na nachime hapa face. If I don't agree with it, and I can't talk about them for one reason or the other, because our politics side were complex. Some of you, no, landa, tekulanda vechera nderande. Kumona if you're landa. Ngata uli careful mukulanda, itu waisanga, uli left, So if my fintu, ngwamona, okay, ididi ashidia shupa. Especially ngadi, mujaba kuru, kuchashani, go step forward, a few steps backwards. Just like ida shida kuchingola. Ida shida kuchingola didia, nadi shupako. Mujaba tadi shana. So, techule wata. But otherwise, ngachako ati, ngakula ndafi, nganinda ndefing. Nganinda ndeni impirine mishitu. Pada shida kuchingola. If ato, takwadi ama politics ya moya mo shan, nganinda impirine mishitu. But when you realize that, okay, na likosa kweli ashidi nangu na landa, palas na la ile telerafi. Fimwe fintu kutashani, kula wako fenangu ula buata ila nangu niwe na nikane, niwe public lawyer. Kuitashani, atikabundi chefya mutwe. Impako shaba na vini. Eli ashidi ya kuna nikane, ya kopa beoti. Echo mwamono tutushku, tuna taladila. Because, nimbo na tili ashidi ya kuna, alishupa. So, if you na padi walungu na mona baleta Makebi, shani ba balente ngala to. Na sheta shani, na sa iwesha mwana. Tata kanjika refi. Na alile kokulanda because tatwa umfuene nefyo balungu bale chaya. Insamu shi balungu bale chaya tatwa suminishenye. No, but the things I couldn't come pa social media no kutampo kumye bati. Balungu bale chitefu. Meanwhile, njigele kuna kunse, abaleli pilarenti, vana wa balungu. You think I can do that? I'm telling you realistically. Makebi aishire before balungu tabalafu. But I couldn't come out here and start talking and criticizing the move. I looked at it as very selfish. I looked at it as tribal. But I couldn't come out here and ambokula landiria shinde wata. I couldn't. Until balungu bafu I said no, this is too much. And what I refused ukube pesha haka inde ichima, because ichari pupa nomba. Balefwa, number one, balefwa bafise. Balefwa bale bumfya, page ya kwa lungu, to say, lungu alandefi. I said no. Number two, after yakanike, bali fa wepesha Hakainde Hichilema. Yo okay to ala undertaker nafwa but who say bali muchita poison chavana shan. I refused. It was not that the Hakainde Hichilema said no, this is too much, come on, you can't go to those extent. And that was our drift in our lungu. So ndemi wat Makebi Zulu kale diaiseliash. And some of the people that you are seeing surrounding Makebi Zulu, these are people that knew Ishinkama way before. Given Luvinda, Vale and I even went to Kuliba Given Luvinda. But Given Luvinda will tell you, I went to Kunganda Kuliba Given. But Given, you are a most senior. You are the most senior political figure around. And you have looked after this party so long. Why is it that, because how I got it to say no, Given is not interested. That's how I went to a Given to ask them, are you not interested? And he didn't give me a straight answer to say I'm interested. But he gave me the technical explanations. But I told him, you are one of those senior members. And he told me, well, partly, I must save what the president, I must follow what the president is saying, meaning Walungu. I went back to Walungu, Chilishani, Given. So, te go at Walungu first to alete, na leta dikana na Walungu for shiteme no na randa. No, this I don't agree. That is how I was. And Walungu didn't like me for that. Because I was challenging him on certain issues. I was not like Avena Nakachinda, Avena Nikane, Uyatna Nuyu, Musukwa, Musukwa. Those they were just agreeing, but in an Alekana. So, the whole point I'm trying to tell you here is that Uyuma Kebi, Iridia Shijata Mpiakari, and Ine Narisa Nalikana, and where everything, spilled over is when they wanted to now say, no, Hakainde Hichilema is the one that has killed Edgar Lungu. And I didn't also agree Makebi Zulu now to take the center stage, because I knew for me that was a political ploy. And I came here, I told you, Uyu Makebi alechita campaign. Mwalikene, mshena kweva, shani, mwale tarika. Nawe Makebi, mshena kweva po, you go back and check your comments. You will remember, you people insulting me for telling you that Uyu Makebi, ma campaign alechita. Ale nikata mumenso. Mpaka, fiamonekela lero. Fiamonekela. And even those eminent people that were involved, they must be burying their heads in shame right now. They must be burying their heads in shame. Those of you who are saying, now, hey, that's what the family wants. That's what the family wants. Tapari is what family wants. Tapari. All that has been there is campaign for Makebi Zulu. That's all. All that has been there is campaign for Makebi Zulu and Tasila to be vice president. That is all. Now, Tasila should be the vice president. If Makebi Zulu would have a chance to get there, you would see Tasila coming as vice president. Even if Makebi Zulu would have an opportunity to go and file a nomination, you would see Tasila coming as vice president. Because this was a plan that was there before. But stop cheating yourself. You don't have even voters card. Voters card munene inkwata. Voters card, no problem. I even have a voters card. But so that is the point. So now, if you don't say fee, HTK, with all that nonsense that has happened, you really think Makebi Zulu should be given a red carpet to go and file his nominations? I'm not saying he doesn't have a democratic right. He has all the democratic right. He has, just like I have a democratic right. I've got my democratic right. I'm still a citizen. But we are doing politics here. We are doing politics. Makebi Zulu is in a worse situation than I am. I can even say, Ndei 2021. I'm better off standing. I have a better chance of standing in 2026 as a presidential candidate than Makebi Zulu. I am far away. But my position right now is far much better than Makebi Zulu. Some of you have been saying, hey, come. Hey, you think that if I come to Zambia, I'll be arrested? I will not be arrested. I can't be arrested. I can't be arrested in Zambia. And you, some of you, hey, okay, we dare you. No. My politics, I am doing politics. I'm a politician. And I must follow, you know, the flow of politics. At amenshia konko mu follow. Ufile wamona ngoli politician mwine. Ufile wamona ti political wave ile ya kuisha. Where is the political wave? Why mona ile ya kuisha? Amensha payale ya kuisha. Umu follow ulese ndamenshi. Mu follow nshi. Ngani wa politician, if you are a politician, a good politician, you should be able to know where is the politics going. Where is the politics going? That's why in general Mutati ni wa politician. Because Mutati wa Mdala Wadia, he has been in no government. Why? Because he knows how to follow where the politics are going. That's why Mutati is a minister even today. Nakukopa beo toko wali. He's a politician. He's a politician. Some of you who talk about whenever see. My politicians were. Position yaba never mumba. Kuti mwalinga na position mweba de wata pa social media. Kuti mule wata. Can you compare your position yaba never mumba? Iyo ni wa mushani na bwali. Tuikalira ishipachalo te bwali. Tekulia. Tuikalira ishipachalo tekulia. Nangu wate nangu supporte na echo le supportera chinshi. Echo le supportera chinshi tekulia. Wonse tufuayo kudia. Wonse tufuayo kudia nangu wate pa social media. Wonse tufuayo kudia. Ufuaya waikara wino ngefikele ba neva simumba. Ufuaya waikara wino ngefikele bantu anikane ba mutati. Urafuaya waikara wino na nenga fenomene njikele kupano. A lot of you don't live my life. You don't live my life. Na wine urafuaya waikara kunga fenomene njikele wa munako na ba na bakashwa ndifidado. Na urafuaya. No manga tafichichike. Wambo kula mwena mwabano. Ni wa mushani na wadi. Chabana shani. Badelia. You are a chula. Udi no. Mishani na wadi. Udi nensala. Tawisho nefo wala liya. Nefo wala liya ubushiku. Tawishiwe. Munganda na muvita. Tamuni na maraiti. Inana na kuzame na livi kana generator. Ngaya maraiti tare asha generator. Yambo kula tuta. Nomba yu. Bonse tufuayo kudia. Bonse tufuayo wikara wino. Nangu niwa pasta. Nga niwa pasta chachira no kuchira. Nangu niwa patiri. Nangu niwa shkofu. Takwa wati yo ni bishop. Yo ni archbishop. Na archbishop na wala po wikara wino. Na wala po wikara wino archbishop. Ndara yu. Kwangara. Ati you na shikofu. Archbishop alamo wikara wino. Alamo wikara wino na wine. You are ebarandira abantu. Alefwa yekare wino na wine. Alefwa yekare wino. Nomba you no. Here abantu bale landed. Ala. kuli abona wa abantu bambi uyo akainde ulechera ndati shana kuli aba mutemenwe so objectivity ma politics yali shupa ero ngatauleria mndara ngatauleria wamona valeria ati vene tavalerandira abantu panti wetauleria ngoleria nivanga avambi vesa mukuwata some of these people that have turned against akainde ichirema like vashinono for example vashinono valalandaranda vashinono nga vali vapenenchita kuti valeranda vashinono nga vali vapenenchita kuti akainde ichirema kuti valeranda uyu wine mulanda poyati shishua taleria shishua nga vali mupenenchita shishua nga mulamula pa maatiko ali amalonga atiko alemba nga aleli yafi nga aleli chimono munandi like uyu munandi uyu lanikale uyu Pilato panti Pilato nawelanga tawampele nchito apanga alafunya albums ngala yafumya nomba bali mpele nchito na Pilato bwalipwa kulya mwilangala guys mwilayiwepa kulya echo twaigalira kulya so mwira tsati imwenga tamuleria balawaleria awe tabali na abantu ni stafe yavo na imwe kuba be patient luisheni fe na imwe ikesa fikisha na imwe mukesa alia na imwe mukesa kwa tenshita yenu bacha apa abaleria ni ba UPND evaleria and you just have to accept that. Now when valichulire so imwe muikoserera fe abantu valeranda awa bantu muneoleranda poleka nkweve tavafulire avakufunyapo akainde ichirema akainde ichirema is coming back in 2026. Akainde ichirema is coming back in 2026. I can assure you that is coming back in 2026. Tapari winga mufunyapo uyu Makebizulu tapari okwalia Makebizulu will not be on the ballot. Makebizulu will not be on the ballot. Makebizulu nobody nefe nshita yakwe yala Afrika uja marukula uja. Nobody nefe nshita yakwe yala Afrika. Akainde ichirema ushekwe nangu mula tontonkanya Makebi akainde ichirema kuti vamupuvika kuli Makebizulu amuleka imwe wapamuliranda ukesi kuno akainde ichirema terera so imwe mulengiriramo Makebizulu fide achita fide fyabupuva fide akainde ichirema kuti amuleka ale pitana ale kumbi ale kolonganika na abantu ayana kwisa nishi uyu akainde ichirema mushamani mwisha ushakainde ichirema apuva bulemona takainde ichirema naapuva nomba panto nomba vakateka apuva akainde ichirema uya muntu uya he has been in opposition for a long time. Uya muntu uya he has been in politics for a long time. Ero napya kwati imango ilya yakashika akainde ichirema politics ya napya sana napya chine so you can't fool yourself. The joke is on you. The joke is on Malukula Makebizulu, who thinks that he's a champion, who thinks that he has beaten Akainde Ichirema, that he was doing nonsense in South Africa and he has come back in Zambia and nothing has happened. The joke is on Makebizulu. The joke is on that guy. Malukula wakwe Akainde Ichirema ale mutamba fi. Ero nangufete Makebi. Nangufete ntwankanite Akainde Ichirema. Vengi sana abantu amukuchita report aba amukuchita report tuma cases to abulokulondoroka. How many people have you seen cadres going to report people? But report kwisa Makebizulu poishira. Don't you think that those cadres would have gone there to report him of any stupid case? It doesn't matter which case, it doesn't matter. You really think You really think people in Zambia, they have failed to find anything on Makebizulu? Because with that nonsense, you don't need a case of what? No. Ama will take off for your womba. The way government works. Makebizulu is a traitor of our nation. Makebizulu is a traitor of our nation. He is a traitor who was in a foreign country and, spat on our country, urinated on our country. He did so much bad for our country. He has done so much. He has embarrassed us. Makebizulu. Opulungu afila 5 months number, 5 months. And Makebi ali komena. Ichitumbi chawa lungu. Ale na padoko but you will not bury. You will not bury until you bow to what I want. What a stupid action. What the guts. Action echitumbi na komena. Asa komena echitumbi. He comes back to Zambia and he starts campaigning. And he's moving around. And the chair is saying, hey, new, Makebizulu new. Makebizulu is not new. Makebizulu is not new. Makebizulu is a failure. Makebizulu was in Malambo constituency. He's not new. He was an MP in Malambo constituency. And he failed. He was given Malambo constituency by RB. RB is the one that gave Makebizulu that Malambo constituency. After that, by RB Bafwa, Makebizulu failed to continue. He was a minister. Antoine Kane. RB gave him Malambo. Ed Kalungu gave him the minister. He failed. He failed. How can you come today and tell me, new? Are you sure you know new? Are you sure you know new? Muna kwa tinifila muiwepa mwewa mwachi. Yo, I'm a virgin. And yet, badi kupola. But just because wachinja dress na kaputula, you think you are a virgin. Panto wachinja dress na kaputula, no, I'm a virgin. Ever muna chana kuli Makebizulu. Makebizulu is not new. Makebizulu is not a political virgin. It's a finished project. It's a finished project. Bad fuisa. And points out of the market. Oh, mwisho new. Because new, chimuna, ngatwalanda mundu nkanati is a virgin. Makebizulu. Makebizulu mwabati new. Imwe. It's not new. But all that will pour mudia. So Hawe. Zambia is the democratic country. Hakande ichile malamutina Makebizulu. Alemutina Kebizulu mwaume. Hadi shadi komene chitumbi ku South Africa. But hadi samu kukampena. You people. You are for jokes. You are for jokes. Now, I tell you, I'm far much better. I'm far much better than Makebizulu. I can come to Zambia, so. I can come to Zambia. I can even stand a chance of contesting an election. Not Makebizulu. Kubala. Tet fich ticket. Iwe kanan. Achan, kachea kutina kweba so kachea nga Makebizulu aka wapu panto anikani nga wadi musumanga na yabati ni yakoko but I can give you a bet, Maichi. I can give you a bet if Makebizulu will be on the ballot. I can give you a bet. So how I can give you a bet? I can give you a bet pani Makebizulu if Makebizulu will be on a ballot. Date fichitike. Asha komene chitumbi. Ese Muzambia mkukampena. ave na president ero akaeko munhu nechitumbi akabweshe chitumbi guys naimwe nikuiso kovinga chitika ifyo nikuiso kovinga chitika nangu va UPND fipuva nangu va UPND fipuva nangu akainde ichirema temusarura nchire vatuka vakateka but nawo vene vakateka navo ngachipuva kuti varekero muntu asha akomene chitumbi aisa muguzambia mukampena ale bomfene chitumbi kwa vati inengana wina ero nkalete chitumbi mulangala guys mulangala bad mulangala so bakisuru tapali and really unless read awe if you never stick how did the twitch I don't know that stick nina yuke samusuminisha yes he has got the democratic right but ulio bupuba budya uwa kusundira pachalo ulefo kuiminina azikateka ero wi na imwe 30 fevichitike 30 you put the country in disrepute, you embarrass your own government, you go and lock a former head of state, the trophy of our country, part of our history, you lock it out and you say I want to become president. So shiratusha no mutima ina shiratusha no mutima so nangu shireranda ninchukata akainde ichirema akapita 2026 akapita tapali brani munduvire munandi brani munduvire nchakareko kumutashana na mayero twalenda pona vakashvandi ero vakashvandi vali mutemwa brani munduvire kumyave chinga vali mutemwa because ino vale njikata o vale tumina fyo muntu foni asuka ni brani munduvire nangu vamutumina ushiku brani munduvire ale asuka so vala mupepa vakashvandi ero inene my wife is very beautiful. I cannot start differing with her. Techintampokula kwata ma problems yama politics 30. But I can tell you, yes, he's pulling the crowds. He's very good. He's pulling the crowds. He pulled the crowds. Pana secretariat. Very Monica. Very good. Congratulations. That is how it should be. I'll tell you that. That is how it should be. That is how you should show that you have people. Ka political mass okavile ka Monica. So that was good. But is that enough to win an election? Far from it. What happened at the secretariat was very good. Yes, Vabran, congratulations. What happened was very, very good. Especially that it coincided with the stupid injunction. Yakada yakapuba. Inekala nshaka kwa tirenshita. No, why are you not talking about Chavinga? Nishina andapalika Chavinga. Pali waka kwa tirenshita. Ba UPND nga bali mkwa tirenshita Chavinga. Ni ba UPND, inanisha mkwa tirenshita. Awe. Inente timbepe. Epona shupila kofe ine. I say things as they are. The way I see them. Of course, not all the time that I'm wrong. So, udia, kadeka muntu kadia, kachabe chabe fe. To me, kachabe kachavinga kachabe chabe. Ngabali pali waka kwa tirenshita, wali kwa tirenshita fe. Ero na ile injunction, fya upuwa ve fidia, fya upuwa. Whoever was behind that is a political dunderhead. Whoever was behind that, it doesn't matter who it is. He's a political dunderhead. I mean, how? PF yadi fuakali. PF is gone. It's just gone. You don't need to start putting up in amasangala toni kuisa na kuisa. Yadi fuakali. You don't need an injunction. You don't need an injunction for what? An injunction for what? You are just embarrassing our judiciary. You're just embarrassing our judiciary. You don't need an injunction. You didn't need an injunction. You don't need that. For what? Why did you bring that injunction? For what? I mean, the only thing there, ngamwalevo kutemingarato. The only thing is, you would have waited for a PF to come to you to say, we want to hold a convention. And then you would have asked them, convention as which political party? Eh? It's very simple. You would have simply have asked them, which political party? PF. No, PF is in court. We can't give you. I mean, we can't give you a permit. We can't give you a permit. And that's it. You don't need an injunction. You don't need the Karaka guy, Karakamba Nokula Shan Kare Savaida, Karana Pazet. You don't need that useless guy. You don't. You don't need. You don't need that. It is simply it's simply to ask them for a permit. Your permit for as which political party. That's all. They can come, of course. They can come if they are clever, they can come with another political party. They can come with another political party. Okay, let's imagine if they come with FDD. If they come with FDD, can that injunction stop them? Because as it is, you don't need an injunction for PF. PF is locked. PF is already locked. It's locked. You don't need an injunction. Okay? But, okay, now like I'm saying, because the way to beat that is simply come with another political party. Then what is the use of that injunction? Eh? What is the use of that injunction? Now, with this drama that you have caused, if the PF back is in a political party, Mukesa Landachan, Mukesa Monekera. Eh? Because it will be very clear to say, you guys, you are victimizing these people. And when people are victimized, they win political sympathy. They win political sympathy. Victims in Zambia, they win political sympathy. So ina muyonaula bad with Karaka Chaminga na muyonaula. Na muyonaula. I know Takai Minefi Akeni. Takai Minefi. That's a fact. Takai Minefi. But it was useless. That was a useless move. But anyway, I'm talking about Brian Mundubile. With what he did with Brian Mundubile coming up there with that crowd, that was very good. But we very poor. We very poor. Zambians, don't think Brian has capacity to win an election. He doesn't have. He's my friend and I'm sorry. I wish I could keep quiet, that I don't talk about him since he's my friend. But unfortunately, I'm a politician and I had work of a difficult. You know, sometimes you can even hammer your friend. You can even hammer your relative. You know, I'm a politician, I work of a difficult. But the only thing is that he's a good guy. Brian is a good guy. He's a good guy. The only thing that we can produce out of Brian is a good opposition leader. After my elections, Brian, depending on how he's going to put himself together, he can be a good opposition leader after the elections. And of course, we need an opposition. That is for sure. We need an opposition, an effective opposition. So Brian Mundubile can play that role after elections. Not that he can win an election. He can't win an election. He can't. He can't. He can't win an election. Hakainde Hichilema is winning the election. At paid up cadres, Pamucha Mubanga is saying paid up cadres. All the cadres are paid. Let me tell you that. All the cadres are paid. Even Malukula. Even Malukula, including those women that he is standing with. But abadi katira abanalungu kwatma sisters wabo. Even those, they are also paid. Now for kudia. So don't say no at paid up cadres. All the cadres are paid. In politics about money. Don't be cheated that people sacrifice themselves to escort you to the secretariat, to escort you kwisa for nothing. Therefore, our own politics, especially in Zambia. So don't cheat yourself that those people, all those crowds that you see, they come there voluntarily for nothing. Most of those people are poor people coming from the compounds. Coming from the compounds, and they don't usually have, meals, three meals a day. So when there is like a political activities, emo badila. Emo badila. And yabupe na bupo ndeo kati Brian Mundubile cannot succeed because Brian doesn't have the resources. He doesn't have the resources, one. Number two, he doesn't have the courage to get out of the shadow of Edgar Lungu. He doesn't have. And people are still holding on to the shadow of Edgar Lungu. But I can tell you, yes, Edgar Lungu had support. But that support, it was only for him. Nobody can inherit the support of Edgar Lungu in his death. Unless if Edgar Lungu himself had given it to you, then it would have made sense. But not now. Now, people will not come around you because they think you are close to Edgar Lungu. The only way you can sell yourself is to show to the people that, you know, you are a credible leader. You are a leader that can take on Haka in the Ichilema. You are a leader that can take on Haka in the Ichilema. That is when they can look at you. Not Muleisa mwenso. Ndi mwana wako Lungu. Inaka in the Ichilema nshamona napona nkwe whatever. Why do you even have to bother about that nonsense? Why do you even have to respond to that? At that moment with that crowd, wambo kwamba kunganda kwa yakwa echinsha kuishiba. Awe. Tefya kulanda video palia. Palia kwa bat chave. That is the kind of messaging that was needed. It is not to say Ishikara na Lungu, Ishia na Lungu. Is to hammer. Oh, not Lungu, is to hammer Wakuilango wa umepadia. Para kuisa ilango wa umewagwadi. Nga walande vinti padia fikulu. Kukunsha mchifuwa. Pum. You know what I'm they are not friends. That's how you turn politics around. You don't come out and start refusing to say, who is the witness? Who is the witness? Even me. And I'm not going to, who is my witness? Who is my witness? If I'm not with HH, kunsha HH. The only way to show that you are not with HH, kunsha. Apa kavile palepo aikata. Parapena pa kavile po aikata. Elo walaku mwana tawo tali na HH. Not umuntu. Amboka hawe nshamu ishwa. Kunsha. But more than that, courage itakwata muntu vile. Because palia ila crowd muntu wandidia. Kuchita excite abantu. Kuchita excite abantu nangu tapali ofoli. Kuiranga. Yule inanka muchitaka ntawa wachisata fo chareranda. Iyo mwana wasaishire. Ai vera tu uyu mwale toyo. Ndemu chitaka ntuyu. Ndemu chitaka ntu. Those are the kind of politics. Not to say inshamu ishiva. Who is going to believe you? Who is going to believe you? Who is your witness? Wikalaweka ashani uko. Ushikoko ya taweshiwa abantu. So, my politics, there is a way that you come out. Tayari mulwele. I don't have to come out, my wife doesn't have to come out, or my supporters don't have to come out. Tayari is not okay. Tayari is okay. Museveni, for example. Recently, there was a rumor, Museveni collapsed. Museveni is very sick in hospital. What did Museveni do? Museveni did not respond to people to say, I'm not, no, Fiabufi. What Museveni did, he went to Nakasero. And they had a big rally. And he was running. That's how Chapwa, you have sorted out. That is how you dispel rumors in politics. Otherwise, you just ignore it. So, number one, Amari said. Number two, courage. Ndi mwana wako Lungu. Number three, strategy mtuandi. Strategy. Ama politics. Recover. Strategy. Anyway, I just wanted to say, to put myself on record that I'm alive. I'm here. And yeah. I'm comfortable. I'm supporting Hakainde Hichilema, and I'm comfortable. I know Hakainde Hichilema is going to win my election, so I'm not under panicking. I'm not panicking. I'm reserving my energy. When I'm not sure of what to say, I would rather keep quiet. I don't want to mess up my relationship with Hakainde Hichilema. I don't want. So certain things which I'm not agreeing with him, I will not come out and talk too much. But it doesn't mean that no. You have to understand that I'm always on your side. I'm always on your side. And when I have an opportunity, even if I have to talk privately with Hakainde Hichilema, I will tell him. That is one thing that you should know. When you tell me something, don't think that I will just throw it away. No. I will listen to you. And if I have an opportunity, even if I don't bring it out here, don't think that I've forgotten about your issue. No. When I have an opportunity to tell even Hakainde Hichilema, I will tell him straight to say, apata filibu inefintu. Just like what is happening in the Copper Belt for me, the filibu inefintu. And really, I'm hoping that Hakainde Hichilema will do something. But then again, they tindande sana, because nalanda sana shani. Hakainde Hichilema ndefo akapite na distinction, ndefo akapite na 98%. It's possible na opposition na chope na kuzambia. Ngatema spoiled ballots Hakainde Hichilema ngali kwata na 100%. Number because of my spoiled ballots. Kuti akwata na yena 98%. Kuti akwata. Takuli wa opposition ba marukula. Ba makebizu bananka na ba mundubile. Ba chamwenso. Niba nani? Ba mdala bati banani ba Fred Membe. Ba Fred Membe bafide bati Stephen resign. Ba Fred Membe lekeni fama politics. Ba mdala lekeni fama politics. Mwala sevana. Ba mdala imwe party yenu ile pona ma elections ta Africa no kufika. Because my elections editorial kuma elections, your party should be gathering momentum. Your party should be gathering momentum. Na imo mwewe nefi. Imo ba Fred Membe imwe nangu mwaya muna nikane pasha bini yaka chasu. Tapari uinga mirodeshi. Tapari wa mdala kia pasha bini yaka chasu wa mdala imwe ba Fred Membe. Nobody will look at you. Nangu fe mwa ima vati mwa hako vipana nikane pari achani katushinge kwa ya nanomba grand daddies. Nangu mwa hapa grand daddies. Barama stray queen wapa grand daddies. Teti wa mikonko no kumikonka. So banani nomba ni banani bambi akakambia katikana nyaka akakasesema ka profita citizen face kasabaila veka la kamundu etuma politician tingatinga Hakainde Hichilema tuli those are finished party ni nani landeni ni nani lembeni mu comment kaida pa nomba atu pa na politics lembeni ko mu comment ni nani. Which one? Ni nani? Ba constitution. The constitution. Bazangwa. Guys, takudi opposition. Takudi. Takudi over HK. At HK8 kwisa. HK8 na imwe. Takudi ni nani? Ni nani? Njebeniko. I was watching him. Tumana pa Staruchilufya. Staruchilufya kule tafeli ashidama kondom chapwa. Kule tafeli ashidama kondom Staruchilufya. Neri ashidama kondom talapusho kulondoro. Achili alenda padi ashidama kondom. Achili ashidama kondom. Areru ulula. Bali mufuika kamula ndo alifumamu. Wakambwiri mdala. Wale mnomo wale fumapura nikari. Pa hospital. Mdala nafika kumula na picking a bad. Na ya uje taka tare wera wangu. Na isho no kuishwa mdala wangu. Anyway, congratulations that one. I mean, I've gotten information that mdala wali ifika. mudoro kuruku na passport takwata nani awe ndiakainde ichima iye naiperwa fye so tiani tumusapote fe akainde ichinema na tumusapote fe number because what we need is to build the image of our country. That's what we need. For me, why I'm supporting akainde ichinema, one of the things that we should do is to build the image of our country. And to build the image of our country, we need to build the image of the presidency. Okay, once you build the image of the presidency, you know, because your number one citizen is your president. You know, look at Traore. You talk about Traore. You don't say that ni propaganda. Ni propaganda, but Traore. Ni propaganda. Burkina Faso has got its own problems. Burkina Faso kwa livenkondo. But because of the way they have done the propaganda, the way they have sold Traore, the country also has been uplifted. And when the country is uplifted, it attracts investment. It attracts businesses. It attracts partnerships. So, and these are the things that develop a country. So, from my perspective, that is what I am looking at. Ichabayiche. Politics te yavana ndanieva. Politics te yavana. Ulia bino taraishwa no ukaken sapato. Taraishiva ukaken sapato. So tapali at the moment, tapali guys. So tieni fetu ichindi kena mwabe na chingola ndefo kumievo kwa bati you know, teka nyenifia. Some of us, we are hearing your issues and we are hoping that, you know, after my elections, things might change and we'll go back and look at your issues. You can be rest assured that, especially after the elections, we'll be able to look at, some of those issues. And by the way, infrana ayambo kulok. So, muteka nyefe, nangumule that yo, batupere chirupiri, batupere, chan. I think for now, muteka nye kofi, na my elections yapite. Ero mwitane kifukusha chiyo, tatoka mvotere, Aka inde ichi de mare wera, with or without your votes. Efo ningamiewa. Zambia ikulu. With or without your votes, aka inde ichi de mare wera. So chawama, mwamu supporta, so that anako mutima na ena. Ngana ko mutima, it will be easier for us to start asking him for things. So mwichitechi piyo yokuri aka inde ichi de mana papata. Mwichitechi piyo, mumuna kiro mutima. I know, at one point, there will be people that will be able to interact with him and face him on some of these things, so that he acts correctly. Muichitechi pina papatati, tukakano kumuvotera, ngamwakano kumuvotera, na ena muntu kuti aisamira bako kuti shashupa no kushupa. Ero akawa second term, ikashupa no kushupa. So, mubefe bwino atalea chola mwamba awe akainde ichile matale ya munino akainde ichile matale ya mwila ibepa no kuibepa. Zambia ikulu apart from that ama politics yali shupa kuchitaka mpenu ko batushunguluke chalo chonse bakuishibe bakuvotere patali nani ukashinguluke chalo chonse. Nani ukashinguluke chalo chonse ukutsa campaign abo manani kana ati chaba ichi bakwata moto kaimo na moto yako bika mkampeni tabakwete kuti batsa campaign kuti batsa campaign patali pali mu president mwilangala patali awonse walesa baida 30. So the Kenfi akainde ichilema ateke. And let's be positive. Let's speak positively. I mean, these things that is doing, also creating these relationships with other countries. You know, congratulations on Zimbabwe. That is very good because our relationship was a little bit sour. Now, what has happened? This is good. We need Zimbabwe We need Tanzania. We need Tanzania. Some of you, what Hakainde Hichilema did is very good. It's very good to go to Tanzania. It's very good. Samia Suluhu Uko, she's even appointing a government now. She's even appointing the government. She's the president. That's it. Domba mrefu Hakainde Hichilema abe opposition. Muzambia. You want to be the opposition of Tanzania. Where did you see a country turning into an opposition of another president in another country? What Hakainde Hichilema did is very good. We need those relationships. Look at the relationships that we have. Most of the vehicles most of the things that are coming, Pitira Muda Isaram. Should start fighting with the Tanzanian government. Does that make sense? So Hakainde Hichilema on that is very good. Very good. Creating more relationships with Mozambique. Very good with that president. I was very happy. So I mean, he's doing good. He's doing good. Let's just give him the support. Fika afya bwino. Anyway, nachafa vati ndande pantu vamokutuma kubepuva yo tali chawana shani yo bali muchita deport a pond na totala sana. Let me go back to my family.